Hey everybody, it's Dr. Eric Balcavage. We're back for part 2 of Functional Medicine Monday, the hidden causes of chronic weight gain. And today we want to talk about cellular or glandular hypothyroidism as a hidden cause of chronic weight gain. So hypothyroidism is a broad term, and when we talk about hypothyroidism, it's lack of thyroid hormone to your cells and tissues. Thyroid hormone is what runs your metabolism. So there's two big categories for hypothyroidism. The first is cellular hypothyroidism, and this is where there isn't sufficient T3 getting to the nuclear receptors in your cells. And if there's not enough T3 getting to the nuclear receptors in your cells, your metabolism is going to be slowed down. And if your metabolism is slowed down, then the calories you're consuming can't be used and they have to be stored as fat. So the other type of hypothyroidism is called glandular hypothyroidism. And glandular hypothyroidism, the thyroid gland is not able to produce sufficient levels of T4 and T3. And so there's insufficient T4 and T3 in the bloodstream, and therefore there's going to be decreased T4 and T3 getting into your cells. And again, you're going to have slowed metabolism. So how do we determine, or how do we detect that you might have this hidden cause of chronic weight gain? Well, there's a problem. In an allopathic medicine model, they typically look for hypothyroidism by running something called TSH, thyrotrophin stimulating hormone. And they'll run TSH, and it's assumed that if TSH is elevated outside the lab range, that you might have hypothyroidism, and then the lab will automatically run a T4 or a free T4 to see if that value is low. If it is, then you'll be diagnosed with hypothyroidism, put on thyroid hormone medications. There's a problem though. TSH many times is normal due to some type of external mechanism. Chronic inflammation will suppress TSH, hiding a hypothyroid state. Many of your medications can lower TSH, hiding a hypothyroid state. And so it's many times people struggle with chronic weight issues because doctors are only using a TSH based on insurance guidelines to evaluate if they have a thyroid condition. So what do you do? Well, in functional medicine, and for me, this is one of the conditions I specialize in, is helping people with chronic cellular hypothyroidism. One of those things we do is we run a comprehensive thyroid panel. So we run TSH and T4 and T3 and free T4 and free T3 and thyroid binding globulin, T3 uptake, thyroid antibodies, reverse T3. And when we run a comprehensive panel like that, we can identify whether somebody's got glandular hypothyroidism, what we call another piece called subclinical hypothyroidism, or cellular hypothyroidism. And so we need to do a bigger or a better assessment of thyroid physiology panels when somebody's struggling with chronic weight gain. The other thing we can do is we can also look for indicators that cell metabolism has slowed down. One of those things that we can do is, if we're looking at a more comprehensive blood panel, we can look for signs and symptoms of insulin resistance. Now, how do you do that? You look at glucose, you look at hemoglobin A1C, you look at insulin values, C-peptide values. These are tests that are not commonly run in a traditional allopathic model. Another thing we can do, we can look for signs of inflammation in your blood work. If it's been done. In our practice, we would run homocysteine, CRP, fibrinogen, uric acid, ferritin, and a number of inflammatory markers to find out if there's chronic inflammatory processes going on in the body. And why is that important? Because if you have chronic inflammation actually decreases the amount of T3 reaching the nucleus of your cells, slowing down your metabolism and causing this cellular hypothyroid state. And inflammation can also suppress your TSH, hiding your hypothyroid state from your doctor, because TSH will still be normal due to inflammation suppressing it. The third thing we can do, we can look for other markers like elevated cholesterol. Elevated cholesterol is a classic sign of cellular hypothyroidism. So we look for that, and there's a number of other markers on your blood work that can give a functional medicine practitioner clues that you're struggling with this cellular hypothyroidism or a glandular thyroid condition that's actually being hidden because TSH is being suppressed by meds or inflammation or some other indicator. So what do you do? If you're struggling with chronic weight gain. You're exercising, you are eating appropriately, and you're still struggling. I recommend you seek out a functional medicine practitioner like myself. We get a comprehensive thyroid panel done, actually get a comprehensive metabolic panel done, because we can get so much information from that panel to determine what might be your underlying cause of your chronic weight gain. All right? Hope this video helps. Stay tuned for part 3 in the hidden causes of chronic weight gain. Take care.